Hi, it's Mr. Mo on Mr. Mo Cyber Talks. In this episode, I'm going to take you through a vulnerability scanner for home and using a Raspberry Pi. If you're wondering why I'm proposing a vulnerability scanner for home, you're not alone. There will be quite a few other people as well. Usually, the people who are in the tech field or in cybersecurity field would know that vulnerability scanner is a thing in the enterprise world, which scans the entire landscape for any devices with vulnerabilities, and it even proposes the fixes for that. Now, I'm not going to propose something like that to start with. The main reason to start this is because nowadays homes, they include smart devices, especially IoT related ones, which have been built and developed by different vendors, and they might come up with different vulnerabilities. You don't know, you just buy it from a shop, you plug it to your network, it works. You don't know what's really going through. Me, being a cybersecurity architect for ages, I have not included anything into my home network without having a good look. So when the Google Home was initially brought in 2017, if I remember correctly, so I had it on my network connected, but I logged every traffic which was going in and out of it. And it was only going to the Google. Yes, people were saying it was listening, but yes, it was only sending to Google at that time, and it was not doing anything out of ordinary while we are sleeping. So keep that on a side. A typical house these days would have about 30 to 40 devices connected to their network. This could be your laptops, tablets, smart devices. So it is good to know how many devices are there. First of all, yes, I know it can be gained from your routers, DHCP, but a little bit more details, what OS is running and stuff like that. So first benefit having a vulnerability scan at home is you would know what devices literally you're running, and it will also give you what vulnerabilities exist, so you can take an action such as patching it, upgrading it to a different firmware version, or completely not use it, because there's heaps of hackers around the world who are exploiting these vulnerabilities and trying to attack. The worst thing is you don't want someone in to be a home network and listening to all the traffic or capturing your username and password or grabbing all the details of what you're browsing. So a vulnerability scan at home, yes, it is useful. And I'm not proposing any of those vulnerability scanners commercially available. I'm proposing OpenVAS, which is open source vulnerability tool. And this could be installed in a Raspberry Pi or any Linux machine. Because I proposed Raspberry Pi for your home network for a DNS blocker, and there's quite a few videos on other stuff which I'm going to propose. You could use that Raspberry Pi in order to have this install and schedule a scan once in a while. So this whole video will be about the installation process. Once again, I have put all the installation tasks in a script, and I have captured some videos so you would know what's really going rather than blindly following the scripts on the description. And then how to start the OpenVAS web console and schedule a scan and how to read the output. So bear with me. So right now all the packages have been installed or upgraded in the Linux system, and now let's see how we can install the OpenVAS package. And we do sudo pg install OpenVAS. So to say yes for this, compared to all the other previous installations, this thing takes less, so that's why I will not be pausing the video. So once this is done, there's one other command to execute, so that will customize the OpenVAS portal. So it will literally ask for the username, password, the port which it listens through, the basic stuff, which I will take you through as soon as this is done. So it's done. One last thing is to use this command gvm-setup. Sorry, I need to use sudo. There you go. So it's creating the backend databases. It configures the things, and once this is done, it will be ready for you to open up a browser and start the OpenVAS web console. One other thing to remember here is you need to, it will tell you what's the password. It will tell you you can record it for later use. I'll be pausing the video for a sec to reduce the time. So that has been configured now, so it's ready to be used. OpenVAS is recommending to use option to check the installation, which I have done. So let's see how it works. So the most important thing here is the password. It creates a random password for the admin user. You can record it because it will be used in the future. So I will record it on a separate file. Also, there are a couple of other commands you can use to check whether the installation has happened. So which is that? Alright, so OpenVAS has been installed, and what I have done here is I have opened up a web browser on my local host on this IP, which is listening on port 9392, and it will prompt me for my username and password. So the username would be admin, the password would be the one which pops out at the end of the installation. So once I do that, this is how it looks like. So what most of the users get into here is they try to straight away create a task to do a scan, but the problem is as soon as you install, OpenVAS tries to do update of its own databases. So if you go and create a task such as using the wizard like this or by manually, it will prompt you an error that the database is not found. So don't be scared at this time, because it's not really an error, it's because the databases have not been updated. One way to check whether your database has been updated is to see the feed status. Initially it will be as downloading or updating. For you to perform a scan, all these databases should be in the current status. So before you start anything, you just need to make sure your databases are up to date. And then you can start a scan. So I have already added a scan here, but I'll take you through how to create a scan. So there's two ways. One, using the wizard, right? I can specify an individual IP. I know there's an IP, but if you want to have a range, you can have a range specified. If you have a subnet to be specified, you can specify it like that. And then all you have to do is click on Start Scan, and that's using the wizard. Also, you can do one using, like, it's more manual method, right? As I said, I can say home scan targets, right? Because I used it before, it's there. I can say like that, and you can schedule it, but I'm going to run it straight away. Also, I will keep all the other stuff as default, and I ask you to do it, use the defaults. If you have any questions on this, feel free to post a question. I will explain them, because I don't want to create lengthy videos. That's why I just want to make the default stuff which will be effective for your scan, and then save it. Once it's done, it will go through a few stages, like it will be initialize, queue, and then it will run. see this particular scan is like 99%, and when it's 100% you can actually click on the reports, right, and see what has really gone through. You can actually download these reports if you want and see the results. So this is pretty good. You can see, okay, how many hosts it found, right? Say I know this particular one is a Raspberry Pi itself. It will tell me how many vulnerabilities it found, but it's still doing its scan. Therefore, give it a few more minutes and see how it goes. Alright, the scan has completed. You can see there's some severities of vulnerabilities. Some of vulnerabilities been identified. You can view the report by clicking on it. So this is the basic information page. This will demonstrate the vulnerabilities found along with which host. Now this is pretty good. So for example, you can drill down into this, right? And this is my the router. It says PPOE authentication password is sent in clear text. I mean, in this instance I can't really change it because that's what my ISP accepts. I can't encrypt it, but it says it's suggested. So these you don't need to address all these vulnerabilities. Some are not so much of a problem, but there are certain stuff where we can have a look. As you can see, there's quite a few identified, but most of them are not really critical. So these are like medium, right? Some are beyond my control. Like say for example this one, what does it say in summary? It was possible to detect usage. So it's one of the boxes. This is literally, I think, one of the smart devices. It is using the old TLS certificate, right? So that's what it is showing. Now, yes, you can go and check whether there are any updates to that, and see. I have, since it's been categorized as medium, I wouldn't worry. I'm good that I didn't have any critical vulnerabilities. Also, as I said, there's heaps of devices identified. These are all active devices, and it will tell you what device host name is there, and I think it has found quite a few here. And now this is actually the vulnerability is categorized based on the IP address. Further, you can go and explore what ports are open on which. Now I did this scan internally. You can perform this externally using the public IP, and this will give you more description about the reported vulnerabilities if there's any. So that's the output of the scanner. You can actually export this into a PDF file using this icon. Right, all you have to do is click PDF and say OK. It will get downloaded. You will be presented with a professional PDF like this. So it will give you the descriptions of what needs to be done and so on. So that's how you use the OpenVAS vulnerability scanner and identify what's on your network and see what actions you can do. Fortunately, I didn't find any critical vulnerabilities on my network, but I encourage you to install this. It doesn't cost you much. It just takes your time, and in this free version you can I think you can't schedule it for an automatic one, but you can run it once a month and see what has changed. And that concludes the demonstration. And to watch more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel. This is Mr. Mo signing off. Thank you.